Capitalism. Capitalism is one of the most widespread economic systems in the world today. This system is based on one basic rule: allowing people to own the means of production and seek profit. In this system, any person has the right to start their own project, whether it's a small store or a big company. The idea is that free competition between companies will lead to better services and lower prices, which helps consumers in the end. Let's imagine, for example, that you want to open a restaurant. In the capitalist system, you can do this without needing special permission from the government, and you set your prices according to what the market accepts. If your restaurant succeeds, you get the profits, and if it fails, you bear the losses. Supporters of this system see that it encourages creativity and hard work, because a person knows that their effort will benefit them, while others criticize it because it may lead to a big gap between the rich and the poor, especially when wealth becomes concentrated in the hands of a few. Liberalism. Liberalism represents a political philosophy that believes in individual freedom as a top value. This thought starts from a simple rule: every human being has the right to live their life as they wish, as long as they don't harm others. Liberals defend basic human rights such as freedom of speech, freedom of belief, and freedom of the press. They also believe in the need for equality before the law regardless of gender, race, or religion. For example, if someone wanted to write an article criticizing the government, liberals would defend their right to do so, even if they didn't agree with their opinions. They see that diversity in opinions and ideas makes society richer. In politics, liberals tend to support laws that protect minorities and promote equality. They also believe in the importance of education and healthcare as basic rights for every citizen. Conservatism. Conservatism is based on respecting traditions and values that have lasted through history. Conservatives see that societies that have continued for long centuries have wisdom that should be used. This doesn't mean that conservatives completely reject change, but they prefer it to be slow and careful. They believe that fast and big changes may destroy the foundations of society and lead to chaos. Conservatives usually value the role of the family as a basic unit in society, and see that traditional religious and moral values provide social stability. They also believe in the importance of order and law in keeping society safe. Socialism. Socialism gives priority to social justice and equality in sharing wealth. Socialists see that the state should play an active role in making sure all citizens get their basic needs. In the socialist system, the state watches over important areas such as education, health, and transportation, to make sure these services reach all citizens regardless of their financial ability. Let's suppose there's a hospital in your city. In the socialist system, the state will provide treatment for free or at a low cost to all patients, because the goal is to ensure everyone's health and not to make profit. Supporters of socialism believe that this system reduces poverty and provides equal opportunities for everyone. But its critics warn that too much dependence on the state may reduce people's motivation to work and be creative. Communism. Communism goes further than socialism in its search for complete equality. It dreams of a society where there is no private property, and all resources are shared among people. In the perfect communist society, there are no rich or poor people, but everyone works according to their abilities and gets what they need. The idea is to completely remove social classes. Imagine a society where all factories and lands are shared among people, and there are no business owners who keep profits for themselves. Products are given to everyone according to their needs and not according to their buying power. Supporters of communism see it as the only way to end social injustice. But critics point out that the absence of private property may lead to lack of motivation to work and produce. The main difference between communism and socialism is that the first seeks to remove private property completely, while the second allows it to exist to some extent with focus on the state's role in basic services. Libertarianism. Libertarianism believes that individual freedom is the most important value of all, and that the state's role should be at its lowest possible limits. Libertarians believe that people are best at making decisions that suit them, and that government interference in personal or economic life should be limited to absolute needs only. In their vision, the state should only protect basic rights such as security, protecting property, and enforcing contracts, without interfering in how people manage their money or businesses. For example, if you wanted to open a small store, the libertarian would say that you shouldn't face complex laws or high taxes that block your project. You should be free to manage your business as you see fit. Nazism. Nazism represents one of the most unjust and extreme ideologies in modern history. It emerged in Germany in the early 20th century under the leadership of Adolf Hitler. This ideology is based on extreme racist ideas claiming the superiority of a certain race over others. The Nazis believed that the German Aryan people were the highest, and that they should control the world and get rid of the lower races in their view. These destructive ideas led to the Holocaust, where millions of Jews, Roma, political opponents, and others were killed. It also started a Second World War that left tens of millions of victims. Nazism proved to the world how dangerous extreme racist ideas can be when they rule an entire country. It left a painful impact on human memory and became a symbol of evil and extremism. Feminism. Feminism seeks to achieve complete equality between men and women in all areas of life. This movement defends women's rights and fights all forms of discrimination against them. Feminists demand that women get the same opportunities that men get in education, work, and political participation. They also fight customs and laws that limit women's freedom or reduce their status in society. For example, if there was a law preventing women from driving cars or traveling without a guardian's permission, feminists would demand its removal. They also demand the need for equal pay between men and women for similar work. Feminism in its origin was a movement aimed at achieving equality and justice between women and men in rights and opportunities. But over time, some currents or individuals appeared who focused heavily on issues related to sexual freedom, body expression, and sexual liberation, which made some critics see that feminism had transformed from a basic human rights issue to a kind of excessive promotion of sex or what is sometimes called sexualization. Republic. The republic is a system of government based on the principle that power originates from the people, not from a single individual or ruling family. In this system, citizens choose their leaders through free and fair elections. The republic ensures that power does not remain in the hands of one person forever, but transfers peacefully between different leaders according to the will of the people. It also emphasizes the importance of separation of powers to prevent the concentration of power in one place. In a republican state, there is no king who rules by inheritance, but rather an elected president for a specific term. If their performance does not satisfy the people, they can be changed in the next elections. This system believes in the rule of law and equality before it, and protects the fundamental rights of citizens. The goal is to serve the public interest, not the interests of a particular group or individual. Separatism. Separatism expresses the desire of a group of people to separate from the state they belong to and form an independent political entity. Usually, this desire arises due to deep differences in language, culture, or religion, or because of feelings of injustice or marginalization by the central government. For example, a certain region may feel that its language and culture do not receive adequate respect and protection, or that its natural resources are exploited for the benefit of other regions without it benefiting from them. Separatism may be peaceful, conducted through political dialogue and popular referendums, as happened in the separation of Czechoslovakia into two independent republics. Or it may turn into armed conflict if the central government refuses to discuss these demands. So now, Which of these ideologies do you think is the best? And which do you see as closest to your society? Share your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more political and cultural content.